Hi, hello. I don't know where to start with this. I'm at a loss for words. The situation revolving around my computer has escalated to a point where I need to make a second video over a year after the first one. If you've watched that original video, you're aware that I spent $1,500 on that thing. And I'm here to give an update as to what happened to it. Normally I wouldn't, because it doesn't matter, but it's gotten so bad that I'm taking the opportunity to take this situation and turn it into content. I hope you find this tale entertaining. If you've seen my last video, you probably recognize that I still don't have a camera on. I am working on getting a webcam at the moment. It has not been a priority of mine. And as of right now, I'm just sticking with the mic because I want to make something this year. You know? I want things to get done. And hopefully this will be the last video like this, and hopefully it won't be a garbled mess of edits. At least in the last video, I did it on purpose for the sake of comedy, but like here, it's just like I'm actually dealing with some new shit, so things might be a little rough around the edges. Bear with me as I figure out what I'm doing. So, first of all, what happened to the computer? Well, nothing much. Just, it broke. It just stopped working. Okay, so I bought the thing in March, right? March of 2021. And about 6 months go by. Not, like, approximately so. Not, like, give or take a few. And then, for some reason, I noticed that it starts to crash randomly, without warning. Yeah, it wasn't doing that before. I don't know why it was doing it now. I didn't do anything to the computer, as far as I was aware. And at first I thought it was like tied to like a game I was playing. I thought the game was making it crash. But then like I would later discover that the game was not making it crash because this would happen when I was just chilling in Discord. Alright? So like it was not the game's fault. Although I did try it many times to mitigate it. I just thought it was a software issue. Nope. This was a hardware issue. And I could not for the life of me figure out what it was. So once I figured that out, which by the way, keep in mind, this was like back in the fall, I figured this out. Back in the fall this started happening and I didn't figure this out until like months later that it was a hardware issue. So that's when I called up the manufacturer. No, I didn't call the manufacturer yet. I called Newegg. Newegg is who I was the retailer. They offered to replace the RAM. And I'm like, okay, there's not really any proof that the RAM was the cause of it, but sure, I guess, I don't really care. So I replaced the RAM. What it took, oh my god. So like, they tell me they're gonna send me RAM. A month goes by, I don't receive anything. I call them back, and I'm like, yo, where's my RAM? And then, like, quite literally they go, huh? Shit! Tomorrow you'll get the RAM! And then I got the RAM tomorrow. The day after, I mean. And then, like, okay, it took them that... It was that fucking easy for me to get the RAM. I don't know why I had to wait a month for them... For like, shit to, like, kick in that, like, nothing was... If I knew it was gonna be this fast, I would have called sooner. But whatever. I was just under the assumption it was taking a while. And I just wanted, like... checking on what was going on, what was happening. And so I got the RAM, I replaced it, I sent them back the old RAM or whatever. And in the beginning, it seemed like it was working out. Like, it didn't seem like there was anything not working. This is really hard to tell, because it's like, oh, how can I tell it's not going to crash? By it not crashing. And for a while, it seemed like that, until it crashed again. So it wasn't the RAM. At some point, it dawned on me that it could have just been a motherboard issue. The one aspect of the computer I didn't take into account was whether or not the motherboard itself was of low quality, because I'd taken everything else into account. I was just under the assumption a motherboard just kind of works if it needs to, but I guess that's not always the case. Whatever. It doesn't surprise me. And then I called them up again, and they're like, okay, talk to ABS about it. ABS is the manufacturer of that old computer, and they can kiss my fucking ass. Piece of shit company. I can't be too hard on them, because I did get my money back, spoiler alert, but, like, yeah, basically, they're like, okay, send us the computer, and we'll repair it for you for free. And keep in mind that, the day that they offered to do that was the last fucking day of the warranty. It was so much time has been wasted by everyone around me, to the point where, like, by the time I actually was able to call them up, it was the last day of the warranty. If I waited a day later, it would have to cost money. It was fucking dumb. So I sent it to them. I even, like, paid, like, $40 on the shipping. Even though the shipping was free, I paid $40 just to have it, like, in, like, secure packaging. Because I didn't really have, like, the proper box for it. Long story short, I just really want to make sure that it got sent to them and they could not blame me for it. And, you know, it goes to them, and I hear nothing back from them for, like, ever. And then they, like, okay. Then they sent, like, no, not even. Like, a month goes by again, and I call them up, and I'm like, yo, what's the fucking deal with this? And then they go, oh yeah, it's coming tomorrow. I'm fucking speechless, dude. I have no words to describe the absolute, like, insanity I've experienced through this process. They did not send me any notifications through email, phone call, anything at all. They did jack shit. And I call them up, and it's just conveniently going to show up the next day. Like, you can't make this shit up, dude. I guess you could if you really wanted to, but it's like, my life is a fucking comedy skit, and it's no longer funny. Or maybe it's very fucking hilarious, depending on your perspective of it. I don't fucking know. The point is, I got the computer back, and it was in worse condition than when I sent it. No joke, when I sent it to them, it would just occasionally crash, and I just wanted them to fix the issue so I could actually use it. And then it comes back, and it just doesn't turn on at all. And I call them up again, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You broke my computer! And remember how I said, like, the repair happened after the warranty? Guess what, motherfucker? They won't be able to send me the money back for it because of that. Now that it's after the warranty, they won't be able to give me a full refund. The best they could do is, like, either a replacement computer of equivalent value, or store credit. I took the store credit over that because fuck that shit. There ain't no way I'm buying another pre-built after this. Oh my god. And okay, so their language was very weird. Like, was this ABS credit, Newegg credit? They didn't tell me. Turns out it was Newegg credit, and I got a full refund minus tax or whatever. And I used that money to purchase individual parts. That is right, motherfuckers. I have gone back to the original plan. A year later, the chip shortage is still noticeable, but it ain't nowhere near as bad. And I am willing to purchase a graphics card slightly overpriced if it means I can just build that shit. Which, thankfully, I was. Here's some pics of all the parts that I was able to pick up. I'm very thankful that it ended up being the way it is. Like, if anything, having to pick this out a year later means that I was able to increase my budget, which was very necessary, because with all of this combined, my computer went from a value of $1,500 to $2,000, well over $2,000, just a bit over $2,000. But oh god, this was obnoxious. Shout out to this person on YouTube. I forget his name. I watched his tutorial, and he went through a mostly comprehensive breakdown of how to build this piece of shit. There was one part where he made me think I had to put the cooling system on first, and he didn't explain how, and I just figured it out on my own. But no, I just got ahead of myself, but that was not well communicated because he's talking about the shit to do with the cooling system. It was weird. Other than that, like, absolutely wonderful tutorial. A lot of the stuff didn't match up one-to-one, but, like, that's just in my case. For the most part, he did, like, an absolute wonderful tutorial, and I want to give him a huge thanks, because I spent an entire fucking day putting that thing together, and it was just constantly, like, going back to this video, like, playing and pausing constantly. So thank you, dude. You saved my ass. And I was able to put it together. I had another person that I know look at it and just kind of fine-tune some things. For the most part, I did, like, a pretty good job. It's just, you had to, like, rearrange, like, a few things, finish up putting in the wires, and, like, make the Wi-Fi work. Other than that, yeah, it's built. I built a fucking computer! I actually did it! And you wanna know what's crazy? It fucking works, dude! It actually works! I've been testing this thing for about, like, a few weeks now, and it has not crashed. It functions. It actually functions! I could not be any more thankful. You don't know what this means to me, dude. Like, the bullshit that I went through with that original computer has actually kind of scarred me, because anytime I hear any, like, crashing noise, like, or whatever, fucking traumatizes me. Because it's like, oh no, it happened again. Like, every time I put my guard down and I think it's done, no, it kept coming back and it wouldn't stop. So I'm so, like, I say this now, it's just gonna jinx me. No, but, like, I actually think this computer works now. And I am so fucking thankful for it not being a piece of shit. It's not the flashiest thing in the world, but I'm much more of a function over form sort of person. I'm not crazy about the flashiness. Like, the graphics card lights up. The cooling system's supposed to, but we can't figure out where to plug it in. I think it's on the side, like, to the wall that I can't reach. So, rip. Like I give a shit. Like, quite literally, if the only thing that doesn't work are lights. Oh, boo-hoo, poor baby. Wow, my poor PC setup. But yeah, that's the computer as it is right now. I guess I'll, like, go over the specs. It's mostly, like, the same shit from the original build. I say build, the original beast. It's just, like, proficiency of video editing over anything else. So I have, for power supply, I got the RM850X. I think it's gold standard, if I remember correctly. It should be. Master Liquid ML240L V2 RGB. Basically just a liquid cooling system. I want to make sure this shit cool as fuck, because also worth noting that the case that I have, I'll get to the case later, but like basically it's just like I want to make sure this shit stays cool. RAM, I think it's like 2 pieces of 60. I think it's like 32 altogether. I could be wrong. I don't remember off the top of my head. Terabyte of SSD, simple, and the Ryzen 7 8-core processor. I think it's like a... forget the exact name of this series. If I could find it, I'll like throw it up on here if I give a shit. Basically, a good fucking CPU. Good CPU that will make sure that the processing of video should go smoothly. Then on top of that, the graphics card, GeForce RTX 3060, NVIDIA bullshit. Just, it's a 3-fan thing. It's a better graphics card than what I had before, which I'm very thankful for. And then motherboard, Turf Gaming B550 plus Wi-Fi 2, and then Windows 11 for OS, and the case. Case got like 2 front fans and 1 back fan, and 2 fans on the top. So it's like 2 fans taking in cold air and 3 fans taking hot air out. Which I know preferably you would want to have like, more like sucking fans and blowing fans, but like with the way that things are set up, it's the only way I could have done it. To have it be like like evenly like basically I have like as even of a number between them as I could, because the two of those fans come from the cooling system. So that's just how it is. It's fine. It should still be fine. I'm personally happy with how this thing is set up. I also want to apologize for the lack of content. Because of this situation, it has been very difficult to justify making content if I can't. It's a whole thing. Hopefully the next time you hear from me, I will have gotten a webcam so that I can actually film myself and do shit. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say. I plan to use this computer going forward. It's also worth mentioning that because my Adobe programs don't open or work anymore, I don't have a choice but to go completely Adobe free. You could just say, oh, why don't you just pirate the shit? And it's just like, I don't own the Wi-Fi that I use, and I don't have permission to do so by the one who owns it. So it's not really possible for me to pirate at this moment. Although, and of course, I would never condone such an action. Of course, so immoral to illegally come into whatever, you get the... So I'm unfortunately forced into a position where I have to go completely Adobe free. So I'm using free software online to compensate for this. I'm currently recording myself through Dark Audacity, which is Audacity, but they don't steal your data. Also, it's dark mode, which is nice. I downloaded GIMP. Deadass GIMP. The Photoshop killer. Still getting the hang of how to use it, but I've made my last few thumbnails with it, and it is surprisingly pretty intuitive. Hopefully I can get into the hang of like being able to pump shit out with that more often, but who knows. I also got like OBS because of course. I got like Blender because like why not? It's there. And Krita, Handbrake, just some basic software shit that I might use in the future. I would like to have a chance to draw some shit and use Krita for it, but the tablet I have is a big setup, and my desk cannot compensate for it unless I get rid of this fucking laptop, which isn't really happening anytime soon. So until I can move, which is not going to happen for a while for a few reasons, I can't really draw much, but we'll see. Otherwise, there's the editing software I'm using is called Shortcut. I checked out the DAW. It looks pretty comprehensive and pretty similar to what I was using beforehand. I'm really, really hoping that it's not obnoxious to use, because otherwise I might just end up going back to Lightworks, which is what I used for my last few videos, specifically the autism follow-up and the Damn Daniel Drip videos. Basically, like, the Damn Daniel Drip thing was like just an excuse to tinker around with the effects to figure out, like, oh, this is how you do this shit in the software or whatever. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can just use Shortcut instead, because it's free and doesn't just export at 720p. Lightworks. I know it's the free version, but goddamn, couldn't at least give me like high definition? Jesus Christ. That is where I'm at right now. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Hopefully this was at least somewhat entertaining for you. And that's it. I'm a bail. Peace.